Go. Good morning, guys. It's Taylor, Hideaway Ranch. Honey's on the camera over here.
Hi.
We're doing another video here. Wanted to talk a little bit about the essentials for a homestead. If you're really into it, or whether you're just doing a little garden or something, we wanted to talk a little bit about the essential equipment. And this is going to be kind of a series of videos, part 1 through 4 or 5, whatever, and we'll kind of talk about everything that we everyday use here on the homestead. Number 1, this video is going to be about tractors and different implements and the buggy and stuff. But kind of give a little introduction here. I don't want people to think that this is the only way, this is it, this is the only way of doing things, because it's not. I choose to use the stuff I use because it works for me. Now, what might work for you might not work for me down here. I know a lot of other people on YouTube and a lot of other homestead channels, they've got newer tractors, little bitty tractors, 20 horse, 25 horse, newer tractors, and it's just not big enough for what I do here. It's not big enough. And the other thing of it is different implements for different jobs. There's a lot of I guess controversy out there about equipment and the things that, oh, you got to buy this brand new, or it won't work unless you buy it new. That's not the way. I don't believe in that. Everything I have is old, it's used, but it runs good, it runs like new. As long as you take care of something and you do your maintenance and everything, and you fix it a little bit, you might have to put $300 or $400 into it, but it's not going out there and financing a $40,000 tractor, or even a down to a $15,000 or $16,000 tractor. I probably don't have, between all three of these sitting here, I probably don't have $4,000 or $5,000 in all of it. Besides the bigger equipment, which that'll be video number 2. But when you got a homestead, there's a lot of things you're gonna get into and you're gonna do that you have to have a tractor. You gotta have a tractor. Now, I know that there's certain situations where tractors aren't no good. That's why you have a ATV or a UTV. But bush hogging, running a box blade. Box blade is essential, or a land plane is essential for a homestead. And a good bush hog. Now, you don't got to go out and buy a brand new one. We can start over here and talk about the Alice, and then we can kind of move. But take for instance this tractor here. Now, this is a 1950 Alice Chalmers CA. It's 22 horsepower. It's a 4-cylinder. Obviously, it's 2-wheel drive. It's a 4-speed with posi rear. That's another thing we'll talk about over here when we get to this one. This tractor, it's a all-around good tractor. If you're doing a garden, if you're mowing, pulling logs, hauling firewood, pulling a trailer around, different things like that. It really gets into a lot of tight places. You've got your dual brakes on it. That's another thing that is really handy. And good tires. The other thing is matching your implement to your whatever you're pulling. You got to match it to your tractor. So you can't put a 8-foot box blade behind this tractor. It won't pull it. Well, it'll pull it, but you won't keep the front end on the ground, and it's not going to do a good job for you. The max on this tractor is about a 5-footer. That's what I got, and it works real good. It don't have any trouble with it. And 5-foot implements on this tractor. This tractor, obviously, way back in the 50s, they didn't have a whole bunch of powered implements to choose from, but nowadays you've got different RPM range of implements. So if you've got something that runs off of the PTO, the implement that you're buying, you got to make sure that it matches your RPM range. So this tractor is a 540. This is an old tractor, so then it was, all the implements then were 540 RPM implements. This tractor won't do no more. Doesn't matter what you do, it won't do any more than 540 RPM. Full throttle, which you don't run it that way anyway. And also, this tractor is a little bit different. This tractor is not hydraulic. This is both hydraulic and gear driven. So on your lift here, you have to push the clutch in and activate your PTO to be able to lift your arms. So anytime the PTO is running, you can run your arms. That's not a live system. But this tractor, it's lightweight. You can pull it with a smaller truck. This tractor only weighs 2,200 pounds. So if you are on a small homestead and you've got say you got a Chevy Colorado, I pulled this tractor all over the place with my Colorado. But you got a Ford Ranger or even a small SUV, Honey's Ford Edge over there, it would pull this tractor no problem. If you had a homestead, you're really trying to do something for yourself, and you don't have a big vehicle to work with or big trailers or stuff like that, and you've got this tractor, you can pull this with nearly anything. Nearly. But great tractor. It's gas powered. It's not diesel. And when you're first starting out, you want to have a gas tractor. When you're first starting out, you don't want to have a diesel tractor. I'll tell you why. The gas tractors are a little bit less problematic, and there's a lot more out there for on YouTube and things like that for fixing these older farm tractors that are gas. So I think that anybody that's starting out on a homestead, if you're pretty handy, there's nothing you can't do to this tractor. Really. I mean, unless you get into the gears, you get into splitting the tractor and things like that, that's a little bit different. But if it quits on you or something like that, you can do it yourself. Now on the flip side of things, when you're getting into bigger homesteading and you've got a bigger piece of land, not just a 2-acre piece of land or even a 3-acre piece of land, but like a 10 to a 15-acre piece of land, you need to have a couple different sizes of tractors. So that's when you move up to this size of tractor. Now this size of tractor, this is a 20 horse class over here. The Alice is a 20 horse class. This tractor is a 40 horse class. This tractor is a 40 horse, 88 John Deere 1050 diesel. It's a 3-cylinder diesel, 40 horsepower turbo tractor. It's not four-wheel drive. Now, I would love to have this tractor four-wheel drive, but when you work off of a budget or you just don't really feel like you need to go and spend a whole bunch of money, which is me, I go out and I find a good deal on something that runs good, or it might not run good and I bring it home. Sometimes honey gets mad, but that's all right. But it always runs. I always fix it. It always runs with minimal dollars out of your pocket. But this tractor here is, like I say, it's a 40 horse diesel. Good for 8-foot stuff. So it's got right now it's got a 7-foot bush hog behind it. We can talk about this bush hog a little bit. This is an older Rhino bush hog. It's a cheaper brand. I would never buy any of their stuff new. That's my opinion. Some people love it, some people don't, but I would never buy any of Rhino's new stuff brand new. But I got this bush hog here for 120 bucks, laying in the field, and I brought it home and cleaned it up, and it's got a replacement Woods box on it. I changed the blades on it and sharpened them up, and I had to change one blade, but I sharpened the other one up and everything, and it does a good job for beating around in the woods and stuff and knocking everything down. But this tractor here, one of the main differences is this tractor's got a live PTO, so you don't have to.
I'm looking at something here.
Yeah. Well, there's a handle here. This tractor's got a switched PTO, and what that does for you is, if you just want to run the lift, you can run the lift hydraulically. It's an all hydraulic tractor. It's not gear driven like the Alice. You can run the lift by itself, or you can run the PTO by itself. Different. They're different. What that allows you to be able to do is not have to worry about the bush hog still being running when you're traveling from place to place, but still be able to raise and lower it, or mowing with hay or different things. You can raise the lift all the way up, and you can put a baler on it and not have to worry about your lift arms being in the way. With a hitch drawn baler, and you can run the baler with this tractor. You can pretty much do anything with this tractor that you need to do within reason. I mean, it does have its limitations because it's not a big 70 or 100 horse tractor, but this tractor would run, a small square baler, run a hay rake, pretty much anything you want to put on it. This one, it's a little beat up, just a little. It's got bad tires on it, but they've got tubes in them. That's another thing that I'm glad I said that, you need to think about when you're getting into a tractor is loading your tires on your tractor. Loading the tires on a tractor can make the difference. It can make a 40 horse tractor act like a 60 horse tractor if you know how to do it and you know how to run the tractor. Because a lot of the smaller, newer style 40 horse tractors, diesel, they're super lightweight. They don't act right. Not in my opinion, the way they should. You get a 40 horse tractor nowadays, and it's the size of a 25 horse tractor, but they put a 40 horse motor in the 25 horse frame, and it ain't heavy enough to pull nothing that a 40 horse tractor should. But if you load the tires, then you can get away with some stuff. You can get away with pulling more than you really are capable of doing, as long as you know how to run the tractor. But putting tubes in your tires is another thing. If you live somewhere where you got stumps sticking out of the ground, you live in a wooded area and stuff like that, you need to have tubes in your tires, because even if something was to cut the tire, it's not going to leak down on you. It's not going to blow the tire out. This one here, it's got cuts all the way around it, splits. On the other side, it's got a big patch over here to where the tire is just gone, but under that patch is nothing but tube. And they're still holding there and still doing good. But this tractor is good for the bigger stuff. Now, in the second video, part 2, we'll talk about getting up into even bigger stuff than this, to where if the Alice won't accomplish what I'm trying to do, and I have enough room to put this tractor into play, then I can put this tractor into play and it'll accomplish 3 times more than the Alice will. But then we've got stuff that'll accomplish 6 times what this will, if this won't do the job, as long as you've got the room. Another thing that you can think about on your tractor is if you got an older tractor like this, and you can put a loader on this tractor. We're going to put a loader on it once we find one for a good price. But putting weights on the front of it to keep the front end down. That's another thing. Loading your tires and putting weights on the front can really help you out in balance. And even like that bush hog there, sometimes you take off too fast, it'll pick the front end up, because it's sticking out there a long ways. It's got a lot of weight on it. So putting weights on the front is key when you're trying to do a lot more with a tractor than you probably should, or a certain size of tractor. But that'll do for tractors right now. And then another thing is a buggy, ATV or a UTV, something. Now, I see a lot of people on YouTube, and like I say, this is my opinion. People can do it how they want to, but I'm going to tell you that a golf cart, electric golf cart, unless you're on a little flower farm or something and you're just tooling around and you don't got much work to do, electric golf cart is fine. But if you're wanting to put it to work, electric is not the way to go, and I will never believe in it. Gas power, 4-wheel drive. Now, you don't got to go out and buy a Can-Am or a Polaris or nothing like that. You know, $20,000, $30,000 for one of them fancy lifted up mamma jammas. You know, you get you something like this. This thing's a 2015 model. It's newer. Doesn't look it, but it is. 4-wheel drive. It's not been lifted. It's just got little off-road tires on it. Factory, came from factory. And this is not a big name brand as far as the UTVs. This is a club car. But this is a golf cart, a 4-seater. It's got your ROPS on it. 4-wheel drive, and it'll go anywhere. As long as you know how to run it. It's 27 horsepower, gas engine. It's got the dump bed where you can haul feed around, you can haul water barrels, you can haul a little bit of gravel or mulch, or haul anything you want to. This thing's got a 2,800 pound tow rating, so it will pull a lot for its size. It's got a 1,500 pound bed capacity. You can't dump the bed at 1,500 pounds because it's manual. I would like to get the kit to make it hydraulic, electric, but I just, it's money that don't need to be spent there. We can just unload it right out of the back. But this is another thing, like I say, that's essential for the homestead. You need to be able to just jump in something, run down to the mailbox, or run out to the gate and let people in, or just run down to the shop and get something. Pull trailers around. Tractors do a good job at pulling a trailer around, but I'm telling you that if you get you something like this that drives like a truck, drives like your everyday pickup, and it's not what's the word I'm looking for, just big and bulky, you can back a trailer real good, and you can get in and out of tight areas, especially having four-wheel drive. This tractor right here, or this buggy right here, wasn't that expensive. Like I say, we got it for a good price. When you're buying stuff like this and you want good stuff, go to a county auction where they've got beach patrol, or they've got whatever's in your area, a national park or something, to where the county takes good care of these things. And they sell them whenever they get to a certain hours or a certain year, because they've got to keep their new stuff or whatever to keep their money coming in. But this thing only had 250 hours on it. It was a beach patrol unit, and it actually had a bed insert for an ambulance, a beach patrol ambulance, and ran real good. Didn't have to do nothing to it. We brought it home and immediately started using it, and it was great. No issues. Four-wheel drive works good. It's got blinkers. It's got a horn. It's got taillights, headlights, everything to be street legal. So you could actually ride this thing on the street if you wanted to, which makes it nice. And it's got the hitch and everything, like I said, to pull a trailer. So we use this thing every day. Something we're doing with it every day. But that's just a little bit of an introduction to what the things that you need for a homestead. It's kind of conflicting when you're trying to explain yourself. When you're trying to explain yourself in the way that I am about, you don't have to have the newest to everything. But you have to have stuff. And a lot of people are only in positions to where they got a small place, or they're not very handy, but they know how to turn a key and put it in gear and go. So the newer stuff works better for them. You take one of those people and put it on this Alice Chalmers over here, they couldn't even take off with it. So it's not the only way of doing things. It's, in my opinion, the best way of doing things, because you can save the most money, and you can really focus in on your money other places, and building things for your homestead, and building a barn and a chicken coop, and your raised beds, and getting your tanks, and doing everything that you got plans to do. And you don't got to buy, you don't got to worry about coming up with a payment every month, and be strapped for money. If it works for you and you think you can do it, great. But I would just recommend that go down to your local mom and pop place and just ask an old timer. Say, hey, if you're thinking about getting you a tractor, hey, would you mind to take me to your place and let me drive your tractor around? I'm in the market for a tractor, and I'm sure that they would be happy to show you the old stuff, and then you kind of get a handle on it, and you can learn from that person, and then you don't got to go out and finance you a tractor just to be able to do, because I think that's the downfall of a lot of people is when they start their homestead, they make them a list of things that they've got to have, and they're on all these YouTube channels, and they're getting knowledge, and they're gaining knowledge, but I think that they take it way too far, and they think, oh well, we got to have a tractor, and we got to have this, and we got to have that, and we got to have this, but they're thinking all brand new stuff. So then they don't have the money or the drive to go do it, because they're thinking, oh man, well, you know, if we get a tractor, we got to have an implement for it, you know. So then they go out and buy a brand new implement, and then you've got $20,000 in a tractor. So they just don't even do it, because they're like, oh well, we'll just wait or whatever. If you can go to an old timer and you can get you some knowledge, and you can have your stuff a lot sooner than you think. There's a lot of old tractors out there. If you just put in a little bit of work and a little bit of time, anybody can do it. Like I say, Honey can work on this tractor. If I explained to her what needed to be happening, and I explained to her what was going on, and what she needed to do, she could do anything on this tractor that needed to be done, even down to change a tire. It's complicated to change a tire on one of these if you undo the springs. It's a nightmare. But if I explained it to her, she could do it. So I believe that anybody could own this tractor and be happy on their homestead, and quite frankly, be more respected. And what I mean by that is I can get on this tractor, and we got a place about 3.5 miles from here, 4 miles from here. And I take this tractor and I get out on the main road, and I go down there to that place, and I'll pick up an implement or something. And everybody that passes me, the old guys and even the younger people, they're like, oh yeah, you know. So people like to see that stuff. Now they don't much get excited for just a newer tractor. I've never had anybody get excited over a newer tractor driving down the street. They get mad at it because it can't go as fast as their car. But when they see something like this, a 1950 tractor, they're like, oh well, you know, we know that it can't go that fast, and we respect that guy. So that's something kind of funny, but just don't let yourself get blown out of proportion, and don't think that you can't do something without going and buying something brand new. We're gonna put in this series here a lot of things that we've built, we've modified to meet our needs, and it looks brand new, and it looks good, and you don't have to spend a buku of money. But this was just about, you know, 3 pieces of equipment that are very essential, like I say, on a homestead. And we'll have some more coming up for you. If you like it, subscribe, comment down below if there's something that you want to see, or something that we need to touch on some more. Or if you got some questions, contact us on the comments or the email or whatever. Shoot us an email. We'll be glad to go through it and read them and respond to you. And we're wanting to do a live, but we're still not getting that many subscribers. So please like, share, and subscribe if you like our stuff. If you don't, go watch somebody else. But we'll have more for you guys. We'll sign off. Have a good day. This is Taylor and Honey at Hideaway Ranch Homestead.
See you on the next one.
See you on the next one.